Well, there's no doubt that once COVID-19 is gone, or at least until we can figure out a way to deal with it, and when we reopen our governments and businesses, we will be returning to a much different world.
And the tourism industry has been hit hard. Hotel occupancy in Hawaii is down 34%. Disney is planning to reopen, but with new strict rules. And our planes, our cruises, our hotel stays could all change.
And joining us tonight with more on what we can expect, travel and lifestyle expert Oneika Raymond. Welcome back to the program. Good to see you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, first thing we want to know, do you think these rules are going to be a hindrance for travelers, or do you think they'll be comforted by it?
I think that the way that people feel about traveling post-COVID is highly personal and really dependent on their comfort level in the first place. So naturally, if you are someone who is fearful, then you will find these additional measures to be a comfort. If you're someone who is rather cavalier, then these will be a hindrance to you.
Well, exactly what kind of differences do you anticipate us seeing?
Oh my goodness, so many. I think that social distancing is going to be the name of the game. So what we will see is required face coverings while traveling through airports and being on planes. We will also see a lot of lines being spread out in terms of social distancing. I think that we will also see a move to contactless travel. So where possible, we're going to see a lot more people checking in online before they get to the airport and trying to avoid or limit person-to-person contact as much as possible. We will absolutely have to travel with more hand sanitizer. Planes and different airlines, air carriers are saying that they're going to implement more sanitizing measures in order to ensure that these common spaces are clean. But we will see more travelers, and we should expect travelers to take that into their own hands, literally and figuratively. We will be seeing more gloves on the plane, just in order to limit, stem, prevent the spread of the transmission of the coronavirus.
Okay, now let me follow up on that. Before we even get on the plane, let's talk about TSA and getting through that whole situation. It's pretty invasive as it is now. How much worse is it going to be? And how do you do that with social distancing in mind?
Yes, so I think what we will be seeing is staggered, time. So lots of lines being staggered, and therefore, as a traveler, you will have to arrive at the airport earlier. Also, I do think we will be seeing more of a move towards people doing more TSA pre-check, once again, to limit that person-to-person contact.
Oneika, you're in New York City, is that correct?
I am indeed.
Pretty expensive there if you want to visit. What most people want to know is it now going to be cheaper to travel? Do you think there'll be more incentives for people to go and travel and go to cheaper hotels, flights, packages, or do you think it's actually going to be more expensive?
Well, listen, the travel industry has taken a major beating, and as a result, I do think that the travel industry will absolutely try to incentivize travel. Now, whether or not the public will take the bait is a different story. I do feel as though people who are frequent travelers and who are used to jumping on that plane, a number of them are chomping at the bit despite all of the precautions necessary now and everything going on with coronavirus. But for those people who were initially hesitant to travel in the first place, I think that as a result, all of these different travel companies will really, really, really have to put in the work to get those people on planes, in trains, and in automobiles visiting various destinations.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that, and hopefully we'll get some cheaper vacations out of this.
That's right.
Maybe one good thing, right?
I do in the middle seats. Thank you very much.
I do think that we will see a reduction in costs. I know that for myself personally, I have been looking at airfares, and to go across the country to Los Angeles, for example, I've been seeing direct airfares from New York City for under $300 US, which is practically unheard of. So it's already starting.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
We'll look forward to it. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Be safe and come back again, won't you?
Thank you so much for having me.